and welcome to the South Texas Literacy Coalition's Health Literacy Programming. Today on Kids in the Kitchen, we're happy to be here. I'm Dr. Aida Cunha Garza, and with me is Laura McDermott. Hi, Laura. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Beautiful day out there in Laguna Vista.
It is a beautiful day, and it's so super hot that I wanted to come up with something that we could enjoy during this hot summer day.
Absolutely, and we have quite a few of those left to come yet. So we want to welcome you. This is our, and I see Maria Solis has come on. Hi there, Maria. Glad you're on. This is our effort through the South Texas Literacy Coalition to bring you some quick and easy ways to engage with your kids or yourself or your husband or your partner or your, significant other, whoever, with some recipes that are easy to do. We do, of course, support our restaurants and our food establishments and so on, but sometimes money is an issue, and you've got to, be able to think about the convenience that you pay for, the prep that you pay for, the ingredients that are paid for when you buy something. And so, our idea is it's fun, it's creative, you know exactly what goes into it, and you can try new things. You can really develop your cooking personality, and it's time to get back to that. So we share nutrition information with you, we share food preparation information, we share ideas for literacy about reading, writing, and measuring and numeracy and that kind of thing. And so Laura McDermott is my partner in crime, so to speak, in doing this show. And she's on our board. She's a member of our STLC board, and we thank her for that. And this is one of her contributions to our organization by being on the show and sharing her recipes. And she's got a great one today for you for those hot days. It's Friday. Hope you have had a good week. Hope that you're wearing a mask and you're trying to stay home. You're washing your hands all the time. You're using hand sanitizer, all of those preventative health things. And so I want her to share her recipe right now with us. You ready?
I am ready.
Awesome.
This is a super recipe in that some of us are so conscious about either the sugar, our sugar intake, our fat intake, and how many calories we take in. So this you can adapt according to what type of diet you may be on. So the first recipe that I have today is called orange cream dreamsicles. And I remember when I was little, you would go by the little candy store and pick up your popsicles for $0.25. Well, they're no longer $0.25. They can cost up to $1. So I've come up with this recipe, a combination of some things that I found on the internet.
Melissa Loftus says we are ready. So okay.
Well,
awesome.
This recipe uses sugar-free orange jello, and you can decide what type of milk you want to use. Today I'm going to be using 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And the first thing you need to do is you need to be sure you have some type of a mold to make your popsicles in. And this one I purchased for 50 cents on clearance there at one of my area stores. So this is the time when all the summer products are being placed on sale. But if you don't have something like that, you could just use your plain little basic Dixie cups, and these are little bathroom sized cups, probably about 3 ounces. And I have placed them in a Tupperware container. And on the container, I have 6 here. I have placed a piece of foil, or you can use saran wrap. I have made some little holes up at the top. So once that I have filled my little cups, I can place my little popsicle sticks into it, and it would stay.
Oh, and it stays in place. Yeah, awesome.
You could use saran wrap, you could use foil, but you can make your own little popsicle cups for the family. So that's the first thing you need to have set aside. So here we go. The first recipe that I have uses sugar-free orange jello, and you can use any brand. And most of these run about 45 cents, so they're very inexpensive. And I'm going to place that little tiny bit of powder into my bowl. With that, I am adding a 1/2 cup of boiling water, and I've placed this in a thermos so that it would remain hot up to the time of preparation. So I'm going to make sure to stir this really well until all the lumps are dissolved. And
It's okay. That's my signal. Go ahead.
So if you find it to be too lumpy, you can run it under a strainer. But if you run it just quite a bit, just make sure all the lumps are dissolved. It's a great way to start. And I found these popsicles to be really creamy. I sure have enjoyed them. So once I get that dissolved, just the hot water and the orange sugar-free Jell-O, I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 teaspoon of vanilla into this container. Actually, I'll go ahead and do this at this time.
So that's kind of the first part is like you would make Jell-O with the hot water, then you would add cold water, but then this you're adding the cream and the vanilla. Okay.
I gotta tell you, it smells super, super good. So here's the product.
Ooh.
And I'm going to place that into either a blender or a Ninja. And I've got a Ninja, so I would pour it into this container. I would mix it for a little while on my Ninja. And then I would pour it into a mold. And again, I've got these molds that I used. And here's one frozen one.
Is that a pineapple?
It sure is.
Yeah.
And
oh my goodness, look at that.
Pineapple, it looks like a pineapple and you're gonna think you're eating a pineapple, but actually it's orange. You can use any mold that you want. These run about 143 calories, have 15 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 1 protein. So super delicious. And I've gone ahead and put a little cellophane wrapper on this. So if you would like to just have them in your freezer set up for whenever the kids would be ready.
Yeah.
Here you go. So that's my first one.
And that's a good idea for even after school starts, you know, I was reading the other day about Zoom fatigue and the fact that, you know, you're sitting there at the front of your computer doing virtual learning, but you've got to every 50 to 60 minutes, get up, walk around, do something, go out and do something different, go outside, have a dreamsicle, and then, you know, come back a little bit more refreshed. And so we need to be aware of that because all of the conveniences have, you know, some type of a, I guess, side effect, if you would, but we can work around those things. And that would be a great idea, great snack.
And what I love about this, you could also use juices. If you have some apple juice at home, you can dilute it with some water so the sugar content won't be so high. And pour some little Dixie cups like what I showed you earlier. And place them into some type of a Tupperware container where you can hold up your popsicle stick and you can have just little quick and nutritious snacks for your kids. So the second one I have is a fudgesicle recipe, and fudgesicles have gotten so expensive that this is a great way to make your own. Again, I am using today the sugar-free pudding mix, but all the recipes that I found also say that you can use the regular. And this is a small box of, it says 4 half-cup servings. So either one would do. Because I like to count my sugar, I'm going to start off with the sugar-free version of this. And
okay, and Melba Garza says, hi there, Prima. Hi there. Glad you're with us. Got some good ideas for you. And Sylvia Perez Vargas says, that keto-friendly, woohoo. I know, I'm on that keto plan too, and so I was thinking about that. Yep. And sometimes, you know, let me just interject. You know, we tell people you've got to watch your weight, you have to exercise, you have to do all that. But you have to be able to experiment and do some different kinds of things because it's very easy to go back. And, you know, a diet is not forever. It's for good, meaning that you can't go back to eating the way that you were and think that you're going to stay with that 10 or 15 pound weight loss that you had. You're changing your lifestyle. You're changing your eating habits. You feel better. And so it's all about trying to find creative ways, as Lada always shows us, to use what we have to make them healthier. And that's important. So
Good. Well, the next recipe that I have is a fudgesicle recipe. What I love about this is that you can use whatever kind of milk you have at home. You can use a low-fat milk, almond milk, an oat milk, and I had some whole milk here at home. I know my daughter uses oat milk, and that might be something that some of you might use for your special diet, but I'm using 2 cups of very cold milk with 1 package of the sugar-free Jello. Pudding, instant pudding. It's the instant pudding.
Okay.
I'm going to stir that until it's dissolved. To that, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of whipping cream, which sometimes it could be the Cool Whip. And if you're on a special diet, you could use the sugar-free. They have all versions. So that might be something you might want to try. This morning, I did not have whipped cream, but I had the heavy cream. So I went ahead and made my own whipping cream out of the heavy cream that I had. It was 1 cup of heavy cream with 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar or regular sugar and a little dash of vanilla. So I've made my own, and I'm going to add that to the pudding. And I am going to...
I remember I'm going to date myself when we had to use that, because there wasn't anything like Cool Whip or anything like that, or Ready Whip or anything. So,
and you're going to use an electric mixer for this, and so you're going to whip it up about 2 minutes till it's creamy, and it makes this really yummy, creamy whip. If it comes out too thin because of the type of milk that you used, you can add an additional box of powder. These, according to the milk, it may range for about 40 calories for your popsicle, 1 carb, 3 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, 3 grams of sugar. So that's going to go into the bowl, mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to show you my mold here. I poured it into a mold, and these are cactus-shaped molds. Again, these were
cute. Yeah.
These are on sale everywhere. People are trying to get rid of their summer items, so I was able to purchase these for about 50 cents. So that makes
amazing.
Here is my cactus chocolate popsicle.
Awesome. So, yeah.
Ready to. They are covered, and what I used is I just used the party bags. They're usually 20 for 90 cents, and you can individually pack for your kids whenever they are ready. Again, you can use any type of milk that you have at home according to your diet. And we keep stressing that we want to be healthy, and we want to promote health literacy. So that's really a combination today. We're doing kids in the kitchen, we're doing health literacy, and we're promoting reading. So go on the internet, look up that special diet that you're on, whether it's low sugar, low fat, and just low calorie. All types of recipes appear online. So go for it. Have yourself a popsicle and enjoy this super hot day with something really nice and cool and flavorful.
Great. Thank you for sharing those great recipes. Those are great snacks and healthy too. And so when you look at the recipe, you think, oh my God, but look at what she did to modify it and to make it a lot healthier. 2 different snacks. You got them ready in the freezer. Let's go out and, 5 or 10 minutes. That would also make a cute little drive-by Christmas party, a treat for the kids that are driving by saying happy birthday to you. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I want to share a recipe today that's called zucchini pizza bites. And one of the things that I know as a parent with 2 young boys, it was although my kids were pretty healthy eaters, but I always tried to introduce something different, all the time. I think I mentioned to you that in their hamburger, instead of lettuce, I would sneak in big leaves of spinach, and nobody knew the difference. I cut off the little, stem end, and it looked like a lettuce leaf. And so, I tried to do as much of that as I could. I incorporated vegetables into Mexican rice and that kind of thing. And by the way, one of the things I did last night was I made Mexican cauliflower rice. I'll share that recipe with you one of these days. And I'm trying to do a keto thing. And so it was delicious. It made me feel like I was having Mexican rice. And whereas pasta and rice and bread and all that stuff is not keto friendly. So I ate that, and I bought it was just an impulse buy, okay? I bought the package of already riced up cauliflower because I thought, oh, when you cut it, there's stuff all over the place, and it was worth it for me. And I added the same spices. You do not brown it like you would rice, but I added the same spices. And my son brought me a little bit of brisket that he had smoked, and wow, it was great. Salad and rice and brisket. I was in heaven. It was great. Okay, but let's get to today's recipe. So here they are, okay? These are zucchini pizza snacks. And one of the first things that you do is you take your cookie sheet or baking pan, and I put some foil there, not parchment paper, but foil. And we're going to spray it with spray oil. And then we're going to cut our zucchini. Now, I chose the largest zucchini I could. The more tender zucchini or the smaller zucchini is more tender and flavorful. But for this, as we were going to add stuff, I wanted big round circles or coins of zucchini. And I'm going to use the rest of that for some other things. So we're hosting just to let you know, in early September, we'll be hosting a Cooking with Herbs and Spices, very short informational piece with Sakula Memorial Library, and they're going to be putting us on. So I took this great big zucchini, and you cut it in about 1/2 inch rounds. And the reason is that you want it to be able to be held, okay? And you don't want it to be flopping down. And my beeper went off, my alarm went off on my oven. So that's all you do to the zucchini. Now, I put it on here, and my oven is set at 400 degrees. I bake these for about 6 to 7 minutes. It depends on how firm you want. And this is pretty firm, okay? Now, keep in mind that you can eat zucchini raw, okay? A lot of people don't do that, but you can. But these are cooked a little bit. And the next thing that we're going to do, and I'm using all H-E-B ingredients. Shout out to H-E-B. This is the H-E-B Organics Traditional Pizza Sauce, okay? Shout out to them because they're one of our good sponsors. And we're going to put about a teaspoon of pizza sauce on each one of these.
What a great idea for an easy snack, nutritious.
Yeah. And then we're going to put some mozzarella cheese on top, and be generous with the cheese. And then, well, I'm going to go ahead and use this. I've got some more of these to cook over here. Let me see what I did with I took some pepperoni, okay? And this is H-E-B pepperoni. They do make turkey pepperoni. And because the slices were so big, I cut them in fourths. So this is where you teach, if you cut it in half, you have 1, 2. If you cut it in fourths, you have 4. And then you can put it together, and that makes the whole piece. So I cut little wedges and put about 2 on each one of these little slices. Now, zucchini is very nutritious. It has about, in a whole large zucchini, okay, the whole thing, 55 calories, okay? Has vitamin A, has vitamin C, has vitamin K, folic acid, calcium, iron, magnesium. Very, very healthy. It has kind of a bland, sort of nutty taste, so it lends itself to grilling. For the big slices, you can take these big slices and grill it, or you can cut it lengthwise and grill each half. It makes a great addition to a barbecue, and that kind of thing. It has about 3.9 grams of protein. It has about 7 grams of net carbs, okay, because it does have fiber. It has 1 gram of fat and 3.2 grams of fiber. So very good for you, okay? And so once you do this, all you do is put it back in the oven for about 4 minutes. And let the cheese melt and let everything get hot. And you end up with these wonderful pizza snacks. They're very nutritious, very delicious. It's like it's got the pizza taste. You can also sprinkle some Italian seasoning on it if you like. Some children don't like too much of that, even though when you buy a pizza, it's all in there. They can't see it. But if they're going to make it with you, you know, try it out first. Do a couple, because I know my kids were like, "What's that? And what's it going to do to the taste?" And so, you know, you've got to work slowly on this. The whole idea is to include this wonderful summer squash. Now, it's summer squash because it grows in the summer. But guess what? Here in the Rio Grande Valley, we have a wonderful climate where we have 2 growing seasons. We have a fall growing season and we have a spring growing season. So you'll see zucchini in the market all year round. And so you can use it like that. It also lends itself to making zucchini muffins and zucchini cake and zucchini bread, you know, adding it to so many things. And of course, this is a keto-friendly recipe. Just turned out that way. You know, I promise I wasn't looking specifically. I was trying to find ways to include more vegetables in your child's diet. And so these could be a side dish if you wanted. It could be a whole meal if you added some other vegetables and then some maybe a little fruit salad to it, or a green salad. You could add some meat if you wanted that. If you didn't have the pepperoni, you could put just olives on there, or little you know, carrot strings, whatever you want. This is your recipe, do whatever. But we used, you know, the mozzarella cheese. We used our pizza sauce. We didn't do this, but you can, because it makes it tastier. And of course, you know, our big zucchini slices. And so that's all there is to it. Makes it really, really good. I've got about a minute and a half left on these. I'll take them out of the oven in a minute, and I'll show you how easy they are. And you can certainly get your children to help you with this, because, you know, the research says that when you prepare something, particularly children, it's a learning experience. But when you prepare it yourself, you're more apt to taste it and like it. Many children say, "Oh, I don't like zucchini. Oh, I don't like spinach." And so I always ask, "Have you ever tasted it?" "Well, no." "Okay, well, then let's fix it a way that you might like it." And so that's all there is to that. Okay, we're just about done. And I want to show you how great those look.
Those
They're
look
nice and
so
hot.
delicious. What a great idea.
The cheese is melted and they're nice and warm. And so, you know, let them cool a little bit, stir them up, put them on a platter, or serve everybody individually, and just have them taste it. They taste amazing, okay? Just like pizza. As I said, the fact that the zucchini lends itself to, you know, the flavorful is very bland, and so it lends itself to using it in a lot of different ways. Now, one more thing I was going to tell you about zucchini. If you have the opportunity to get your hands on the blossoms, the zucchini blossoms, they are also very, very good. You can take them, rinse them in water, kind of pat them dry. You can stuff them with cream cheese, and then you can dip them in butter, or you can dip them in a batter and fry them. Depends on, you know, how many calories you want. Or you can, my grandmother used to cook them on the stove. Eran la flor de calabaza guisada, okay? So zucchini or squash flowers, you know, in a guisado type of a thing. And so they're delicious and they're edible and have, you know, as much nutrition as the regular zucchini. And one more trivia. The zucchini is treated like a vegetable, but it's actually a fruit because it comes from the flower, okay? So that's a good trivia thing for you to know. So those are our recipes. Now, I tried to get Jonathan to buy into these pizza bites because he's like the pizza connoisseur. He eats pizza, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a day. I don't know, or a week. And I said, we have pizza snacks. Oh, there's zucchini pizza snack. Oh, so Jonathan's going to be my first, person that I'm going to try to get into eating more veggies. Vanessa, his fiance, she's a veggie girl. She loves all that stuff. But Jonathan, we're still working on him. Okay. Right, Jonathan? I'll try it maybe, he says. I hope that you liked our recipes today and enjoy them. Have a great weekend. Please stay safe. Do want to tell you, we've got a couple of storms coming kind of into the area, and they're both kind of coming into the Gulf. And we were talking about this before the show, that we're one of the areas, because of the warmth of our water, that could sustain 2 storms forming. The models are all over the place. So please prepare. Okay. This is a good snack to have on hand. You can put it in the refrigerator. You can heat it in the microwave and have it. And, Norma Pacheco O'Neill says they're delicious. Okay. So, be ready. Be ready. Make sure you have water and that kind of thing. We don't know what's going to happen. I think I told you the story before. I grew up in Corpus during hurricane season, and my dad said, never turn your back on a hurricane, because looks like it's going up to somewhere and it'll turn around and, get you from behind. So, one tip, if you think that you're in an area where you might have water cut off or whatever, fill up your washing machine with water, okay, that you can use for washing and bathing and that kind of thing. That's an emergency, thing. So we always used to do that. I have all these things that I remember that my father would do religiously in preparation for hurricane season. So enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Wear gloves. Wear a mask. Wherever you are, social distancing, use sanitizer, all of that stuff. Any last words, Lada?
No,
before I go make your
I don't think
recipe?
Then I can't wait to try this. It looks so
Oh,
delicious.
yes, absolutely. All right. Have a great, great weekend. We look forward to seeing you next Friday.